What's up everyone and welcome back to the AG Chelsea TV. Today let's get started with Pochettino hopes to build winning momentum at Palace. Chelsea manager Mauricio Pochettino hopes Wednesday's FA Cup victory at Aston Villa will help them gain some winning momentum as they visit Crystal Palace in the Premier League on Monday. Yes, I think before also we had some good performances and after we are not consistent enough, Pochettino said. Maybe it can be the starting point for us to be consistent and have more often this type of performance. This type of game, at Villa, I think shows our capacity, our talent, that we have a very good squad. We only need to put it all together, he added. How close Chelsea were to re-signing Declan Rice. Former Chelsea assistant Jody Morris has revealed how Declan Rice once expressed a wish to return to Stamford Bridge over text. Rice was heavily linked with a move back to the Blues ahead of joining Arsenal on a deal worth more than £100 million during the summer. I messaged Declan Rice when I was at Chelsea, and I asked him whether he'd come back, even after being released by the club, Morris told the William Hill and Footy Accumulators podcast. No tippy-tappy football. He was a centre-half back then and there were a lot of people who said he shouldn't have been released when he was, but in hindsight it was probably the best thing for him considering all the amazing things he went on do at West Ham. I was always on Frank Lampard's case saying how unbelievable Rice would be for us when N'Golo Kante kept getting injured and he wasn't sure at first, but a month later he was all over him. So, we reached out to Declan on whether he'd want to come back and he said, "I'm a Chelsea fan, of course I would." And from then on Lampard was speaking to him and the upstairs members at the club were talking to his parents. In the end it got put on the back burner in favour of a couple of other signings. I didn't end up going through, but at the time they were quoting around £60 to £65 million, so that would have been a steal for someone who could have easily been at the club for 10 years. For me, Rice is top draw and I'm so excited about the England midfield we have at the minute. Rice has shown his worth in an England shirt and for West Ham and now at Arsenal with a better team and he's performing week in week out. Chelsea eye surprise midfield talent. Chelsea Football Club's interest in young talents never wanes, as evidenced by their latest target, Lamine Camara. The 20-year-old Senegalese midfielder, who showcased his skills at the Africa Cup of Nations, AFCON, is now on the Blues' radar. Despite Senegal's early exit, Camara's performance remained a silver lining, especially his matchday 1 prowess where he stood out as the only player to score more than once. This feat, as reported by Tom Webber of footballtransfers.com, has placed Camara in the sights of several top European clubs, including Chelsea. Chelsea's interest in reuniting Camara with his international teammate Nicolas Jackson at Stamford Bridge is a testament to their strategy of recruiting young, promising talents. However, they face stiff competition from clubs like Real Betis and Juventus, the latter in search of a successor to Paul Pogba. But it seems Juventus might pivot towards Koopmeiners of Atalanta, potentially easing Chelsea's path to Camara. Despite the allure of the Premier League, Camara appears to have reservations. An attempt by Chelsea to initiate talks in January was rebuffed, with indications that the player prefers to continue his development in the French league. This decision speaks volumes about his maturity and understanding of his career trajectory. Mauricio Pochettino's Chelsea is rich in midfield options, further complicating Camara's potential integration into the team. With talents like Carney Chukwuemeka and Romeo Lavia waiting in the wings, and Leslie Ugartew's underutilization, the addition of Camara could create a logjam in an already crowded midfield. In summary, Chelsea's pursuit of Lamine Camara underscores their commitment to nurturing young talent, though the player's ambitions and the competitive nature of football transfers can often derail even the best-laid plans. As the saga unfolds, only time will tell if Camara will don the Blues jersey or continue his development on familiar grounds. Fernandes committed to Blues amid departure rumours. Chelsea star Enzo Fernandez is in love with the Stamford Bridge project, and journalist Ben Jacobs has told GiveMeSport that the World Cup winner could have the last laugh after shock exit rumours emerged. It has been an underwhelming campaign for the Blues, despite Mauricio Pochettino being tasked with guiding the West Londoners back to challenging for major honours when he was handed the managerial reins on an initial 2-year contract last summer, and they currently find themselves in the bottom half of the Premier League. Key men within the dressing room have complained that tactical coaching by the Argentinian and his staff has been limited since his arrival in the dugout. While recent arrivals have expressed regret over penning long-term deals, and it has led to speculation over Fernandez's future, Fernandez's agent Uriel Perez has dismissed claims that the midfielder is seeking a summer departure from Chelsea, according to ESPN Argentina, and reiterated that he is committed to the project after being warned that patience would be required when he made the move to the capital. The report suggests that Blues co-owner Todd Boehly, who led a £4.25 billion takeover of the club in May 2022, insisted that it could take a number of seasons before there are constant challenges for the Premier League crown, as plans had been put in place to reshape the squad with up-and-coming talent who would need time to settle into their new surroundings. Fernandes became the most expensive acquisition in British history when he completed a £105 million switch from Benfica in February 2023, although that record was snatched away when teammate Moises Caicedo headed to Stamford Bridge from Brighton Hove Albion during the summer, and speculation over his future came as a shock. It emerged earlier this week that the 23-year-old's representatives have initiated discussions with various clubs to explore potential opportunities away from West London, as he is contemplating whether to push for an exit after failing to meet expectations since his big money arrival. But Fernandes signed a £180,000 per week contract which ties him down to Chelsea until the summer of 2031, when he made the switch from Portuguese giants Benfica, meaning that his current employers are in a strong negotiating position ahead of the transfer window reopening in the summer. Reputable journalist Paul Brown recently told GiveMeSport that the Argentina international is struggling to forge a fruitful partnership with Caicedo at the heart of the Blues midfield, while the revamp in the middle of the park has resulted in him having a less influential role. Jacobs believes that Chelsea are in line to profit from rumours over Fernandez's future, as it has resulted in him being keen to emphasise that he is fully committed to his current employers and not looking to embark on a fresh challenge just over 12 months after arriving at Stamford Bridge. The respected reporter feels that the former River Plate man's passionate celebration after firing home a free kick during the Blues FA Cup fourth-round replay win over Aston Villa earlier this week was in response to suggestions that he is unhappy in West London, and highlights that he will be going nowhere in the summer. Jacobs told GiveMeSport, "Usually we speak about rumours and fake news as being unsettling, and I think it definitely irked the Enzo Fernandez camp because it is so untrue, but I think it also put a bit of fire in the belly. I definitely think it contributed to prompting that exuberant celebration. So Enzo Fernandez, his camp, and Chelsea might just have the last laugh based upon that fake news. It has been used to prove a point. Usually, these kinds of stories are distracting and irritating to players because they create unwanted media headlines, but I think that story blew up to such an extent that the agent had to respond to it and dismiss it as fake news. Fernandes used it as an opportunity to show how much he is in love with the Chelsea project." And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.